Hi guys, this is the final feedback session for unit number 5. So let's see the activities. But first, we are going to see the objective for today's class. It says to review the functions of the present continuous, will, and be going to when talking about the future. So this is like the summary of all the contents that we have seen at this moment. Now let's see the first activity. Remember that in this part, the idea was to connect the examples to the functions and additionally to talk about is it present continuous, will, or be going to. So let's see example number 1. It says, it's Christmas next Saturday. We'll have lots of gifts, right? So that is an example of an inevitable result. It is going to happen, yes or yes. And as you could see, the example we will have has this structure, the use of will. Number 2 says, I love hot dogs, hamburgers, and pizza. But now I'll choose the first one. That is an example of a decision. And remember that decisions are used with will. That is important. Number 3 says, look at Robert's car. He's driving very bad. He's going to crash. Okay? So look at this. That is an example of prediction with present evidence, and you have to use be going to. Look at the example. He is going to crash. Be going to plus the base form of the verb in this case. What is the present evidence? The person who is looking to the situation. That is important. Number 4, before I die, I'm going to get a tattoo on my back, but I'm scared about the pain, right? That example is an intention. It is not probable to happen 100%. So for that reason, you use be going to. And finally, number 5 says, I'm meeting the dentist tomorrow. That is the typical example of an arrangement, a plan that you are going to have in the future. And for that reason, you use the present continuous. So there you have pending activity number 1. Then I said that you should have done the exercises in the dossier number 2. The first one is a review of the vocabulary of science fiction. And look at that. The definitions says, number 2, a three-dimensional image produced by light. Number 5, creature from outer space. Number 6, beam array of light or radiation. Number 1 says, any of the 9 heavenly bodies revolving around the sun. Number 3 says, a device launched into orbit around the Earth, another planet, etc. And number 4 says, a person or thing that is identical to other in appearance. Here you got the results. Number 2 is hologram. Number 5, alien. Number 6, laser. Number 1, planet. Number 3, satellite. Remember the pronunciation, tan tan tan, satellite. And number 4 is clone. So there you have the words for the science fiction vocabulary. Let's see. The instruction says, read the text, match the underlined sentences with their functions. They can be predictions, general predictions, predictions based on evidence, in this case, present evidence, decisions at the moment of speaking, plan or arrangement, which are synonyms, and general intentions, okay? So let's see the examples. The text starts with this, with Emily. Hi, Paul, what are you doing today? Paul says, I'm seeing my dentist at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Have you got any plans for today? So number 1 is an example of an arrangement. It is a plan, and that is the reason that you use the present continuous. Then Emily says, I'm meeting John and Jane at the cafe. We are going to play Scrabble. Maybe you might join us after your appointment at the dentist. In this case, example number 2, it is also an arrangement or a plan. It uses the present continuous. And number 3, it is an intention because you use be going to. So let's continue. Poses. Sounds good. I think my appointment will finish at 4 o'clock. I'll call you when it finishes. Then I can join you. Let's see the answers. Number 4, it's a general typical prediction. And for that reason, you use will. There is no like evidence in this part. Then number 5, very important because in that situation, there is an appointment and then a post says, I will call you when it finishes. So that is a decision at the moment of speaking. And for that reason, you use will. Then Emily says, great. We are going to talk about the Interrail. We will need your advice. Number 6 is an example of an intention because you use be going to. And in number 7, I think, yes, I put it request. Request was not one of the options, but I think it is not prediction and it is not a decision at the moment of speaking, right? Because there is a request in this part. He's asking for information in here. Remember that advice is a synonym, sorry, it's consejo in Spanish. So he's asking for help. Then Paul says, all right, I'll give you very valuable information about the trip. Look, Andy's coming. In that example, number 8, I put decision because you use will. Then Emily says, oh no, he's going to see me. He lent me his geography book and I've lost it. Now he will probably ask me about it. Okay, I got it by Paul. That is the end of the conversation. Example number 9, it is a prediction with evidence in the present. Okay, and for that reason, you use be going to. And number 10, it is a typical prediction. I made a mistake in the spelling, yes. Prediction, general prediction, and it uses will. So there you go. Next, and this is the final exercise for the unit. It says, read the function in parentheses and complete it with will, be going to, or the present continuous, depending on that situation. Number 1 says, I shopping tomorrow. It is a plan, arrangement. What do you use with plans? The present continuous. So you say, I'm going shopping tomorrow. That is the correct answer. Number 2 says, intention in parentheses, and it is a question. So intentions, you use be going to. Are you going to come to the party? That is the question. Number 3 says prediction based on evidence, but I forgot the word present evidence. Remember that there are examples with past evidence and typical predictions with will, okay? So in parentheses, it should say prediction based on present evidence. And for that reason, you say be going to. It is going to rain later. Number 4, says plan or arrangement, present continuous. What are you doing this weekend? That is number 4. Number 5 says prediction, general prediction. Barcelona, in this case, will win 3-0 this weekend. Number 6 says intention. That means be going to. I'm going to buy tickets for the concert. That is the correct answer. 7 says plan. That is to say, present continuous. Jane is flying to Rio for the holidays. Number 8, there is another mistake in that part. It says inevitable prediction. Let's say, instead of that, a prediction with past evidence. And remember that with the weather forecast, el tiempo in Spanish, you always use will. So the weather forecast says it will be sunny for the next 3 days. That is the correct answer. Number 9, it is a plan. I'm not doing anything tomorrow night. 10, refusing. Give me the answer, please. Give me the answer. And the other person says, no, I won't. Remember that in this case, it is a short answer. So you do not repeat the base form of the verb. 11, it is a promise. This restaurant is awful, okay? I won't come here again. That is his or her promise in that particular case. And to finish, number 12 says, we have tuna and ham sandwiches. And the other person says, I will have the ham sandwich, please. Remember that you use decisions with will. So people, this is the end of the unit. See you next week. Have a good week. Bye-bye. Sayonara.